lives are important. They are a key component of being a Christian. And so how we live our lives impact not just us, but it impacts others, the people who are around us, the people who deal with us, and it impacts our spiritual walk. So how can we nurture our spiritual lives? So that's what we're going to talk about very quickly today, is the ways in which we can nurture our spiritual life. Number one is we need to spend time with God. Yes, we have to set aside time to spend with God. We can't just say, oh, I'm going to go talk to God today. And you spend about 2 or 3 seconds saying, Jesus, I need you. I love you. Thank you for all you've done. And that's it. No, we need to literally set time aside in our calendar, just like we do for everything else, to spend time with God, to nurture that relationship that we have with Him. Because any relationship takes work. If you listen to my series on the Valley of Dry Bones, it talked about how we have to fall back in love with God. If you listen to my series on Are We Cheating on Him? It talked about the ways in which we're betraying God. So when we think about God, we think about a relationship. We have to think about Him in the same way we would think about that person we were deeply involved with. And we know that in order for any relationship to work, for it to grow, you have to invest some time. You have to invest some energy into that relationship. So if you don't set time aside to nurture your love, your the things that are important to you, then it's going to die. It's like a plant. It's going to die. And so we have to spend time with God. We have to make a conscious effort to spend that time with Him. The next thing I'm going to say to you that we need to do, we got to get in His Word. We've got to read His Word. And we got to read it in a quiet place where we can concentrate and know what we're reading. And say, God, speak to my heart. Speak to my spirit. Let me know your will and your ways. Talk to me. And God will begin to come in and talk to you. He'll talk to your heart. He begins to tell you what He wants and how He's going to do it. We have to also be able to speak God's word. And in order to speak God's word, we have to know God's word. To know God's word, we have to study. It says in the word, study to show thyself approved. And if we're not studying, we can't show ourselves approved, and we can't speak His word. When your mind begins to falter, when the enemy comes in and begins to attack you, you have to speak His word. You have to make a conscious choice to begin to speak His word, begin to speak those scriptures, speak those truths that God have told you. And you can only do that by studying. We also have to spend some alone time with God, and that goes back to spending that time with Him. We have to be careful who we choose as friends, who we choose to spend our time with. We want people who are like-minded. It says don't be unequally yoked. It's not just talking about marriage. It's talking about friendships too. Because, again, how can two walk together unless they agree? You have to find people to be with you who are going to help encourage your spiritual walk, who are going to help lift you up, who are going to tell you when you're doing wrong and encourage you to get back on the right path. And so we have to carefully choose our friends as we walk this walk with Christ. So if we're going to nurture our relationship with Him, then we have to make a conscious choice to do just that. We have to see who our friends are. We have to get in God's word, reading it, speaking it, spending time with Him. We have to make a decision to nurture this relationship, just like any other relationship that we have. And so, guys, I thank you so much for listening. It's been a wonderful, particular live lesson. I'll see you in the next video.